I am so guilty for watching these prank channels. And I haven't watched prank channels in a while because I've realized that these couples go too far. For example, Rissa and Quan. I started watching them about 3, 4 years ago, and I thought, wow, what an adorable couple. They're young, they're in love, and who doesn't love to watch two young people enjoying life, not jaded by the experience of heartbreak? And it's not to say that they have never been heartbroken, but to love this deeply and so wholesomely, that's what it seems, at least, it's a breath of fresh air. But what I noticed with a lot of these YouTube couples channels is that eventually that joy gets sucked out of their eyes. Not just because of the demands of life, like being a parent, going to work, raising these kids, and raising yourself, because even when you're an adult, you're still growing, you're still learning about life. And then obviously the bills and life changes. And so it can be a lot. But when I watched Rissa and Quan, my mistake for thinking that something was different, but it really wasn't. Eventually, over time, they started doing the same pranks a lot of these problematic couples do. The cheating pranks, the smash or pass pranks, the I'm wearing my ex's engagement ring prank. Who does that? And I understand that they're young. I understand they're just joking. But jokes can really hurt. I remember hearing a parable when I was younger, and it was about jokes being like a flaming arrow. They can land on someone or land on the ground. And if it's a flaming arrow, it could start a bushfire. It could also unalive you if it lands on you. So this is why I am very careful with these YouTube couples, because watching the ending of a relationship in real time can also trigger some trauma in me. It can also trigger some trauma in me remembering when the beginning of my relationship was fantastic and then it started going downhill. That scares the shit out of me. And then when I see a young couple with young kids go through this in front of the world, it's even more devastating. And I know people are like, but these are just people on the computer. Why do you take it so seriously? Because they're human beings. And the reason we watch some of these human beings is because we feel connected to them in some way, right? Whether it's because we remember being in that state of mind, we remember experiencing some of the things they experience. Maybe we look like them. Maybe we like some of the same things, or we may look alike. And so we feel a strong connection that, a person who doesn't care for TV or YouTube or actors or, creatives does. And so obviously as a YouTuber, seeing where Rissa and Quan have gone in their YouTube careers, it's commendable. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of time to create this content. People just think that it's easy breezy. It's not. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so seeing what's happening now, the last prank I saw was her put her ex's promise ring on and pretty much jokingly, show it off to her partner, Quan. And Quan was really hurt by that. Because even though this is a joke, it's still real life. Same thing with acting. Just because I'm acting doesn't mean that I don't actually physically feel it, that I don't emotionally feel it. I do. When I watch a movie that's really good with great actors, it evokes emotion out of me. And those tears are real. Even if the story is fiction, it still feels real. Hell, I can see a commercial on the day that I'm about to get my you know what, and I'll start crying over a Kleenex commercial. Okay? So these feelings are real, despite the fact that some of this shit is scripted. And now I see how the energy's off. He doesn't look at her. He doesn't really want to touch her. His head tilts the opposite direction when she's tilted towards him. And it breaks my heart. But this is a lesson to people that get on YouTube that want to do these couples channels, and they don't understand how things can go south really fast, especially when you have people commenting, people are reading your body cues. They can tell that you're not smiling as much, or it's not as genuine. People can tell when you're tired. You know, people can tell when you're bloated. You think they're not going to be able to tell that you guys are having a rough patch? Come on. And this is why I also didn't want to do a couples channel, because I don't want to have to sit down and explain to people why me and my partner are not together in that way. Like, it's different if I said I was married, this and that, and then I get a divorce, and then I share, hey, so I got a divorce a year ago and here I am now after that divorce. Like, that's so different than having to sit down with the person that you're actively having a disagreement with, or that you're breaking up with, and having to explain to a bunch of people what's happening, or not explaining what's happening and leaving it up to speculation. And that's the worst, because when people are speculating, they're adding so much wood to the fire, and it can become so uncontrollable. And it can make things so much worse, because some people are actually right about what's happening, and it's holding a mirror up to your face, telling you to face it, even though you don't. And at this point, it feels like it's a business for Rissa and Quan. The fact that they're following each other again, they're trying to do videos together, even though the energy's off, to me, is just business. Business as usual. Now, let's go to Khalid and Salama. I really enjoyed their videos to a certain degree, until they started getting really snarky with their remarks. They were going off on each other, making fun of each other. And it wasn't just making fun of each other's cute quirks and saying, oh, I just love that. It was making fun of each other's appearances, making these really uncomfy comments about their marriage and their relationship and the setup and why they got together and how they got together. It seemed as though this was something that was forced, and I'm assuming it was an arranged marriage based off what Khalid has said. And it made me feel for a while that at this point they are going to they're going to come at each other's necks like SmackDown WWE for our entertainment, and so they could grab some cash. Like, if they were going to go through this pain, they were going to wipe their tears with $100 bills. If so, God could keep them from doing that. But they were going to do it. And so that's what made me eventually stop watching them. Because even the advice, a lot of the advice, I felt like it was genuine, but at the same time, it was the advice they were giving to themselves as they were trying to heal from the separation that was ultimately happening in front of our eyes, and we didn't see it. Khalid moved on, got a divorce, found somebody else. And Salama, she's actually really trying to become an independent person. And from the interviews I've seen, she has gone through so much trauma. And it could be that she was an avoidant, right? And she was in that relationship and she couldn't let him in, even though they have kids and a business and they've lived together this long. They've been together for so many years since they were younger. It wasn't enough. She needed to heal a lot of those wounds. and also trust herself and believe in herself and not depend on a man. And I think that, I don't want to say religion, but like the religion she's in, it definitely creates that type of environment where you sort of have to depend on your man and religion and God in order to have a sustainable future, to be accepted as a viable member of society, at least in her society. So I can see how, you know, breaking up and detaching and getting this divorce was probably weight off her shoulders, something that she wanted to do for so long, but she was afraid of what maybe society would think, or family would think, or even the viewers would think. And I'm glad they didn't keep going and try to sell us more of this lie that they were happy. But they weren't actually selling us a lie that they were happy. They were actively showing us that they were done with this relationship. They were done. They were over it. So there's a few videos that I saw, and here's some
clips. I spent
my
whole 20s being a full-time mother. So I did not have time to know who Salama is. I didn't. I was torn between, you know, ketchup hands into like diapers, and my journey just started in 2021. Like, I started late. So I think people should learn something from that as well, as like there is no set age for you to, oh, I'm in my 20s, I should be a millionaire by now. No. Learn and welcome the failure if it happens. But how did I discover me? That was a question that's been asked by my amazing team, and I was like sending them a message.
So yeah, it looks to me like she feels a little bit more liberated. That's what it looks like. And I wish her all the best. But it teaches us that it's not sustainable to be a YouTube couple and always sell us this happy dream, because it's not like that. We know that. But our mind will start really believing that, no, these people have the greatest relationships. And you'll start comparing your relationships with theirs, your lifestyle with theirs. I mean, Quan literally posted, "I'm single for life. On my unalived sister's soul, I'm single for life." Like, when they looked so in love last year on the proposal day. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I feel bad. I hope they work it out, because they are young and those kids deserve a beautiful, happy family. But I also have seen couples that stay together, they're damn miserable. They are so damn miserable. And then the kids suffer behind that. The kids see that and they're like, oh my God, like, this is not the relationship I want. Like, deep down inside, they are begging for their parents to break up, and they won't, you know. Some people speculate that Rissa was unfaithful. I don't think that was the case. I think that she does not have boundaries. And I think when you create a YouTube couples channel, you need to have strong boundaries and the same goals. And you have to protect your family at all costs. If that means going off the grid, not posting for a year, that's what it means. Money should not be more important than your relationship. Money should not be more important than your children, period. Or your mental health, for that matter. So yeah, I wish them the best. I hope that people understand that when you're making content like this, even though it seems all jokes and kiki and ha-ha, your brain does not know it's jokes. Your brain does not know it's jokes. If your brain can feel it, taste it, smell it, see it, it's not going to take it as a joke. Also, it's kind of like the same reason I don't watch horror movies, because I know that I am trauma sensitive. So if I watch movies that are scary, okay, if I watch movies that are terrifying, that is going to strike a chord with me. That is going to traumatize me. That is going to make me raise my cortisol levels. And I don't want to be stressed. I want to enjoy movies. I don't want to be stressed. And I don't want to be hyper vigilant because I'm watching something that triggered those traumas. So it's the same thing. The same reason I don't watch scary movies is the same reason why I do not watch couples channels, because it just triggers too much. All right, I hope you like this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll check you out on the next one. Peace.